Welcome to Meet the Expert series. I'm Rachel Leonard, editorial director of the Bridal Council. Here today with me is Ron Wendt and Philip McGregor of Ron Wendt Designs. They design the most sophisticated, chic weddings. All you have to do is look at their website and you're just in awe of everything. Every image is gorgeous on your website. I just can't get over it.
Thank you.
They have. I just want to say, I mean, some of your clients are Cartier, Chanel, Tiffany, Chopard, Louis Vuitton, BMW. I mean, my goodness, only the top most, luxurious brands. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
So great to see you. You look so tan and beautiful. Are you still in Florida?
You're kind. Yeah, thank you. We're blessed to be away from the city right now. So.
Oh my goodness, so great. So Ron, let's just start with your background.
Sure.
Tell us about, how, what you studied and, what's your training?
Right. Well, initially I started with business, so business is great to have. But I also love romance, and so I got a degree in archaeology. That got me outside and dealing with romantic things, but I also went back and got a master's degree in garden design. So I love that whole sort of spatial interaction of someone walking through a space, which is what we use in event design quite a lot. It's textural, it is experiential, and so that's, yes, and the great thing about event design is it evolves and happens much more quickly than garden design. I still love garden design, but it's much more immediate. The use of color, the use of texture, and obviously it's a different venue every time. So it's a different garden every time.
It's
yeah.
Incredible. It's extremely creative. I mean, it's set design all the way
through.
It
is set design. Yes.
And you don't have to wait for it to grow. So
no, you don't. That's true.
And all those things. So tell us exactly, the services that you provide for your clients. It could just be wedding or events, just in general.
Well, in general, I handle all the design issues. Philip does planning, heads up planning with our associates, and we obviously listen to our clients. We learn what's important to them. We get directives from them. Just like in anything, an event, you have an accomplishment. There's something you want to accomplish. You have a goal, and so learning what that client's goal is very important. It's like
well, listening is very, very important to
know. It's psychology. Yeah, very much, because you want to get to know your client. You want to know how best to represent them, and that's the fun of it.
Exactly. Okay. So I want to know, the next question is, explain the process, especially for a wedding.
Right.
On how that works. And we're going to share the screen now. Bear with us, everybody. And Philip.
Yeah. Well, the process, are we good? Yeah.
Are you there yet? Yep.
All right.
Almost there.
Okay, we're going to take it from the top. Yeah. Well, the process is obviously very personal, especially for a wedding. But we listened, as I was saying before, we listened to what our clients are wanting and what their goals are. And so we thought what we would do is show you an example of what we do. We create mood boards. This is for obviously a mountain outdoor wedding, but we search for inspiration. And these are certainly inspirational and aspirational. We begin to share these with the client and define colors and palettes and whatnot that they're interested in, but also figuring out, what are your guests looking at? What's the backdrop? Trying to create the most dramatic backdrop possible, and then looking at obviously weddings aren't just one day anymore. It's at least 2 days, if not three. So we create these mood boards like this one here, and you can see it's quite a textural thing. It's not just a couple of images. It is it's what sort of materials will be in the room, what sort of lighting will there be, what will guests touch and feel and smell and see, and so that's what this representation on the wall is for this in particular party. So
Is this your final product here?
Yeah, that
it sort
came
of is.
from that.
This is actually not the wedding.
Welcome.
it's the welcome, but
That's
it was all about
gorgeous.
board, and it was great. And we had wonderful fabrics, and
Oh, so beautiful. Oh my
thank
goodness.
you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun actually.
Where was it?
Up in Vermont, and they the guests just had a great time.
I love their
Really
jackets.
what we
Great.
needed it to do is to break the ice with everyone, and
Oh my God, that's
yeah,
gorgeous.
it was really really gorgeous.
Ah.
It was special. Yeah.
And you have, I mean, obviously with your services, you have trusted partners that you work with, like this
We do.
flamethrower.
We do. That's right. But you want to get a good flamethrower.
It's going to show up and not
A
burn
tried
you.
and tested flamethrower.
Well, I mean, I think that's the beauty of our, if you will, our longevity in this industry is that we have had so much experience with different vendors, try and true. And the people that we recommend to our clients are people that we believe in, who are going to produce the best job. So
the right fit for the right
the
client.
right fit, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we don't if we're handling a client that's come to us for full service planning, we're introducing them to people that we think is a perfect match. We're not trying to overwhelm them with bringing them to 5 different vendors. We're starting at the perfection level, and then if there's a problem, then we'll go down
we
to
solve
list.
it. Yeah.
So do
Exactly.
you give them like 3 examples, or you just give them 1 example?
We start where we
Yeah.
we start by listening, as we said in the beginning.
Right.
So if you tell us what you want, we say we think we have the right fit for you. If that after that first meeting they want to see something, because in our experience, Rachel, we find by overwhelming clients with too many choices, they don't know where to look, because everybody usually does have something good to offer, but it's really finding that relationship.
Right. And that's the one point I wanted to end on, is that on that process question is the client needs to feel comfortable and confident in the person they're choosing to plan this wedding and design it, because it is a long-term relationship.
Right.
And hopefully it will be a relationship that continues, as we've been very blessed with a lot of our clients that are repeat clients, and we call them friends now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than
That's so
clients. And
exactly. And it's true. I think in this day and age, especially, you need an expert to walk you through it, because there's so many images. It's
It's
so
daunting.
overwhelming, and you just want,
Yeah.
like, you express what you need, and then you say, take me through this.
Right.
It's
Especially the
very,
size
very
of the
stressful.
way weddings are done, these
Yeah.
days.
Well, the thing is, I think that there's been such a bad reputation of people being taken advantage of.
Uh-huh.
So to work with somebody that you can trust, that really is working in your best interest, not to take advantage of you financially, but to create this really special day and weekend for your
And create the
family.
most
I
for
mean,
you.
that's what
Yeah.
we have done and done successfully for as many years. And we're kind of like the Olsen twins of the event industry. We've been around a long time.
Right.
Okay, so my next question is, let's have some tips. I think we're about to come out of this COVID slowly, but we're moving
Sure hope so.
forward.
Yeah.
And I would assume that more people would want outdoor weddings, luxury tent
Yes.
weddings.
You know,
Give us some tips about 2022.
definitely air circulation is a big concern, and it's even if it's not an outdoor wedding, I think people are thinking larger venues, And if it is an outdoor wedding, then larger tents, just so that people don't feel quite so hemmed in,
Mhm.
like we used to do.
Right.
You know,
You
Like
know,
those
we have,
crowds.
yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
The thing is, right now we have two on the horizon, looking at the end of summer, early fall, and they're both significant numbers, like 200, 300.
This year or
And
next year?
this
This
year,
year, but they're larger venues,
and
really large.
yes, and the
venues.
thing is, it's both are outdoor sort of
Components to it. Yeah.
absolutely, so that we are able to make sure that the guests are feeling free and not having this tight feeling before. We definitely don't want that.
And since we're in this transition period, we have been hearing from potential brides. They're willing, they've talked to their parents, they have an idea of what their budget is or what it was going to be going into COVID. They're willing to have a smaller guest list for a more saturated experience. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So, that's sort of maybe a little bit of a plus, but if you decide you're going to have a smaller guest count, because we don't have a definite all's clear date yet. So
Right.
it's interesting hearing some of that. And it's interesting to hear a bride saying, I'm willing to have a smaller wedding, but
But
take
make
it
it
all
the
the
most
way.
lavish
Yeah.
thing you can. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
You
Really
it's more
make it,
intimate.
really make it an experience.
That's the thing. I think
Or
that
just saying, right, I'd rather spend the
would be
money on that.
craving this ability to celebrate now, especially after this historic time of COVID, and to celebrate love with their families and their friends. And it's our job to bring this to a level of unexpected, wonderful, that we can create this to the best of our abilities.
Yeah.
And I think that people will be dying for that, because everybody's been sitting home with their Netflix, having their takeout food or their same meal night after night, that it's almost going to be a whole new world. I mean,
Yeah.
we're hoping for that.
I mean, people are talking about roaring 20s.
Yes,
I hope so.
exactly.
We're ready,
we
Exactly.
we think it's going to be great. So name some of your, you've traveled the world setting up, name some of your favorite outdoor locations that you've planned weddings for, or it doesn't even have to be that, just magical spots.
Well, I mean, the south of France is always great, isn't it? But we've done some magical things, around New York, out east and in Southampton. You know, this one in particular was one of those clients that have become very, very, very dear friends. Actually became a whole emotional and personal evolution with this wedding. But she wanted to have it at her home. She didn't want to have a tent. Her image was not to have a tent. So we created the outline of a tent with bistro lights, and it was under the stars. It poured that day, but it cleared in enough time for us to pull everything together. And they had the most clear, beautiful, starlit night. Everyone dancing under the stars, dining under the stars. It was really, really magical. That was great. Sure, the south of France was great as well, and that's also out under the stars.
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking like most memorable, I guess it would be Hotel du Cap, and the client, which have become friends with us as well. I mean, the bride, it calls us her uncles, and
Aww.
it was really magical because it was a weekend celebration. We had the backdrop of history and the sea, the Mediterranean Sea. It was out of a fairy tale. I mean, it was really out of a fairy tale, and it was our job to just guide and watch and make everything flow so beautifully. And when everything falls into place like that, Rachel, we couldn't be happier, because we're not guests. We are representing them, and we are the kind of the colonels. They're running the whole show, the
Wow.
conductor.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of responsibility. But when you see that you've created these memories for these families like this, it's something that really kind of reinforces why we do it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my last question. What's your favorite part of the process? But before that,
Yeah.
What's your plan B with people who want outdoor weddings and it does
Mhm.
rain? What do you always have a
You
plan
do,
B or?
you do have a plan B with
Tent.
a tent, and you're watching the weather. And usually if it's a weekend wedding, usually Wednesday is the decision day on whether or not you're going to use the tent.
We are
Do you have a
watching
favorite- do you
every,
have a
we're,
favorite-
Oh, I have every
favorite
weather app.
weather app?
yeah, we start
Yeah.
10 days of,
Yeah.
and then we do
Dark
the
skies?
rain, we do the
Yeah.
rain dance,
Yes.
we do everything,
Right.
up
Right.
until the last minute.
But I will tell you, there was one where we were in a tent, and it was a great affair. Everything was wonderful. And it did rain, but everyone went outside in the rain to watch the fireworks. And you know what? To start a marriage off with fireworks in the rain, if you can be happy with fireworks in the rain,
That's
you can
great.
be okay. You're going to be
Right.
okay.
All's good. All's good.
Yeah, all's good. Yeah.
I mean, so what is the favorite part of your process? Obviously, it's,
Well, it's
I mean,
for
you must
me,
love designing, so I
I think
guess.
it's
yeah,
design.
yeah, it's the design part of it, and it's that interpretation and the translation of what's in their head into what's in my head, into creating and working with their budget, and making that happen,
And then exceeding their dream.
and then
I
exceeding
mean,
it. Yeah,
one of our last brides that we did, I think that when she walked up to the tent, she was just, there was no word. However she imagined it, it was more than. So
Yeah.
if we can surpass their expectations,
Yeah.
we've done a good job.
Right.
You
It
know?
was great. Well, thank you
So-
so much. I so enjoyed
it's been
speaking
great.
to you today and seeing
No,
It's been
my
great
old
to see you.
buddies
Yes,
we all
exactly.
go back.
Way back
Yeah.
in the day. Yeah,
way
definitely.
back in the day, but I'm so thrilled to talk to you and thank you again. And I wanted to say thank you to everybody who was watching and
We look forward to being on the other side of this.
exactly.
Yes, exactly.
I can't wait for the end. Okay,
Yes,
so now I'm
definitely.
going to end this now.